Now, earlier this week, we brought you the 2007 video of then-Senator Obama making controversial racial statements. Now, this video has emerged, and one tape from 2002, another video, has been buried now for a decade. It reveals division, class warfare that has not been seen since President Obama's, well, trademark, which has now become this. Take a look.
The principle of empathy gives broader meaning, by the way, to Dr. King's philosophy of nonviolence. I don't know if you've noticed, but rich people are all for nonviolence. Why wouldn't they be? They've got what they want. They want to make sure folks don't take their stuff. The spirit of empathy condemns not only the use of fire hoses and attack dogs to keep people down, but also accountants and tax loopholes to keep people down.
Now we have more tape, but here with reaction to these newly rediscovered tapes from the New York Civil Rights Coalition, Michael Meyers, and radio talk show host with the Salem Radio Network, Dennis Prager. What is it with the change in cadence? Al Gore did it. Hillary did it. He's before predominantly African-American audience. What is that? Is it called pandering?
I won't hold the intonation of his voice against him because even Muhammad Ali doesn't speak in rhyme all the time. So people do that in different audiences. And the point is...
There's no pandering to that, though?
Of course he's pandering. But the point of it is that he's engaged in racial rhetoric. That's what he's engaged in. It's the resort, the recourse, the refuge of the demagogue. And that's what the demagogue does. They don't care about facts. They don't care about how much errant nonsense they do. They pander to the audience, tell the audience what they think they want to hear, and they look through the reality through the prism of racial paranoia.
We showed the other night side by side, 2007, the tape, which, by the way, yeah, the media say, well, this is old news, these tapes were out there, but the point was, this tape was never shown. This was never picked up. This wasn't in the, quote, official transcript because these were ad-lib remarks. I'll show it again tonight. But I just want to, how are we to interpret these two Obamas? And who's the real Obama?
I really believe that this can be explained in a nutshell. To understand Barack Obama, one has to understand he is a man of the left. Leftism, as I wrote in my column this week, is the most dynamic religion in the world for the last 100 years. It's more dynamic than Christianity, more dynamic than Islam. His Trinity, Christians have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The left has race, gender, class. That's how your kids will learn life. That's the prism through which they will understand life at college. That is the prism through which he sees the world. He is honest to leftism. While there is demagoguery here, no question, he is true to his faith.
Look, I'm a liberal Democrat, and the point is here, not that he's left or right. The point here is that we know what he is through these tapes now. We know he revealed himself as what we call...
Was it the real Obama in 2008 in Philly on race, or this other race speech?
Oh, I wrote an op-ed piece in the LA Times exposing his Philly speech as being the race man that he is. You see, he focuses everything about race.
And class, though,
let me play part of the 2007.
That was also class. That's my point.
Because he's saying that Katrina victims were not taken care of by the government because the government is against black people.
Right.
That's what he's saying. Well, let's go back and roll a part of this tape and also notice the change. This is not the Obama, the way you hear him when he gives a speech.
When 9/11 happened in New York City, they waived the Stafford Act, said this is too serious a problem. We can't expect New York City to rebuild on its own. Forget that dollar you got to put in. Well, here's $10. And that was the right thing to do. When Hurricane Andrew struck in Florida, people said, look at this devastation. We don't expect you to come up with your own money. Here's the money to rebuild. We're not going to wait for you to scratch it together because you're part of the American family. What's happening down in New Orleans? Where's your dollar? Where's your Stafford Act money? Makes no sense. Tells me that somehow the people down in New Orleans, they don't care about as much.
Where's your dollar? Where's your Stafford Act money?
You know,
that tells me somehow people down in New Orleans, they don't care about.
You know who he sounds like? Reverend Jeremiah Wright. And now we know.
Who was in the audience.
And now we know. Hey, yes, that's his mentor. Now we know how and why he sat in that church for 20 years, the Church of Goddamn America, Reverend Jeremiah Wright.
Here's what I want to know. A very different Obama. He's saying the American government is and this country basically is racist.
Right.
All right. So he's making that accusation. I play a tape that part of it that nobody's seen before.
Mm-hmm.
People attack me. Well, by the way, which I'm used to. It's not a problem. What about the media? Why wouldn't they see the news in this?
Oh, they see the news in it, but they don't want the country to see the news in it. Of course they see the news in it.
Because they've sold out the American people.
Right. And by the way, he has paid the price for it. One of the biggest reasons he lost last night was that he is so used to the media taking cover for him that he was not used to being attacked. He was not used to being answered.
Yeah.
He has been defended for 4 years by this media.
By the way, it was you know what? I love the Al Gore excuse. It was the altitude.
Well, you had a great line.
The media.
Climate change.
Climate
change. Well, wait a minute. He didn't have a problem in Invesco Field, did he, back in 2008? But the funny thing is the media that has protected him has done him a disservice.
That's the point.
He
doesn't know how to answer.
He was stunned.
He
never had to answer a tough question.
He didn't just lose last night. He was, Mr. President, you were beat. You got beat bad. So you have to understand, the media has the same lens that Obama has. Yeah. They still believe in race and racial polarization. They don't get it yet.
In the next 35 days.
Race ain't what it used to be. America, right?
In the next 35 days, I promise you, it is going to be
hell.
The ugliest campaign you've ever seen, because now they're desperate.
Incidentally, Barack Obama's senator voted against the Stafford Act, just for the record.
Good point.
He voted against it.
Great. I did not know.
That's correct. Because it was part of the Iraq bill, and he was voted against it.
I just want to tell you, I like the entitlement line, that you're entitled to your plane, you're entitled to your house. You are not entitled to your own facts. Talk about entitlements.
All right, guys.